Hey, again, we got a review to do. Welcome back to Texas Truck Channel. We're coming to you, well, not live, but we're filming in Hawaii today. We're at a coffee farm in Kona. None of that crap matters. Here it is, Craig, finally. The new Tacoma.
The coffee is pretty good though.
Coffee is good. The new Tacoma is unveiled. This one is a limited trim with the iForce Max powertrain. It also has full-time all-wheel drive, and we'll talk about that stuff a little bit in a minute. But right now, let's just go around the outside. Obviously, take a look back, get kind of a 3/4 on this. This is just, styling-wise, take the Tundra, shrink it down. That's what they've done here. They've done a really good job with that. I think it looks awesome. You have Tacoma embedded in the headlights right here. That's a nice look and a nice touch. LED headlights with LED treatment on the bottom, and then kind of a faux grille here like the upper trim level Tundras will do. I do think about like the limited Tundra. This looks a little better because there's less chrome on it. I think it's balanced better. The grill,
well, the grill's narrower. It's
right.
not as fat.
Yeah, it's not doing this. It's kind of brought down. Which the old Tacoma its grill is about like this. So I think it's a good touch. I think it wears the style better.
I agree.
First point of contention, come on down. Look at this air dam.
Well, that is limited model specific though. That's
true, but this just tells you when MPG is all that matters. That's what this is.
Yeah, you're not off-roading that.
No, this one is, by the way, not adjustable. We've seen it on the Tundra where it flips down. This is not going up. This is a fixed one, and I guarantee you're going to rip through some of those just on parking curbs. That is really insanely low. We also do have our fog lights like this, just like the Tundra, parking sensors, and here's your radar. They actually didn't put it in the emblem, probably for cooling purposes, but that's your radar beacon. And then you have your front camera here. We know the current Toyota camera system is really, really good. Thank goodness, because the old Tacoma needed help there, so that's been solved.
What about the tow hooks?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, we do have them right here, don't we? Look at that. They're not red. They're not, look at me, but they are here. So credit. They
left the hole in the air dam for them.
Just for that. I wonder what the trade-off was on that. Like, surely there was another way to do that, but it's there. That's been a complaint in the past, and these are actually way easier to get to than the old one was. The old one was kind of vertical. This one's the right direction. So cool about that. Let's check out wheels and tires. All right, coming to the wheels and tires, these have the chrome cladding, but they're 18s. They're not 20s, thank goodness. That means it's still gonna ride good. Look at that sidewall right there.
It's only kind of baller.
Kind of baller. Baller on a budget? I don't know.
All right.
But they are 265, 65 18s, and they're general grabbers. This is gonna be a quiet highway tire. You can see the mud on here already. It's rained a ton on site here. But this is gonna be a quiet highway tire. This is gonna be Pop's truck. That's what this truck is for sure. One more thing I wanna point out, air treatment. Look at that air foil right there. That's a huge opening, probably on purpose. Let's check out suspension too. Again, once we get this back home, we actually drive this, we will do a suspension breakdown. But you have a stamped steel and welded upper control arm, massive ball joint, and looks like a cast aluminum knuckle right here. So,
this has the AVS.
That's what this line is here. It has the AVS, which is the adaptable variable suspension, which is pretty cool. Mirror caps, because it's limited, it's chrome.
Chrome, baby.
Take it or leave it.
It's also good so you can, you know, check your hair.
Oh, yeah, I don't think that was the idea, but also iForce Max badging right here. I'm curious to see what the other trims are going to do with that, maybe some venting. Sunroof on this one. Pretty cool.
Could come into play in the interior here in a second.
We'll talk about that in a minute. Also, I want to point out something before Craig gets in. Ooh. Power steps. Now, I've never seen a step this low before. I don't know how meaningful it is, but there's going to be a buyer that's going to be happy about that, and it does get out of the way, which is good. One thing on the roof, we've got 3 fins. Ooh. Not 1 shark fin, not 2 shark fins, 3 shark fins. Do you know why, Craig?
Good question.
The extra shark fins are for the wireless trailer camera system.
Interesting.
So if you get a trailer camera system from GM or Ford or something like that, they're wired, which might be a good thing. Toyota said, we don't need that wired. We can figure out Wi-Fi.
21st century.
Something like that. And I think it's going to be interesting to see if that's a problem down the road or not. I admire them for making it wireless though.
Let's check it out.
What time it is? Cap test. Oh, it's a Toyota. Got to pop the thing.
Don't want people stealing fuel.
Top right.
There we go.
And pop. Here we go. Okay. Just like all of them. Okay. It is a cap. It is unleaded only. I'm sorry. It's not premium required, is what I'm saying. And so that's good. And you do have a cap holder, does work. So, you know, if you got to do a cap, that's not bad. We'll take it.
But just like the Tundra, they also have the fuel door and the exhaust on the same side.
They do. And Tundra put a lot of work into that because they wanted the exhaust over here for other packaging reasons for international use. But Americans want the fuel door on the left. And I bet there's some trickery that happened to make that happen here as well. Pretty cool. Out back, let's check it out. This one being the limited trim has the coil suspension in the rear, which is a 5-link Toyota has a funny name for it as a multi-link system. It's just a 5-link with coil, but we cannot wait to drive it. I bet it rides awesome.
Yeah, that's a big deal because this is the first time ever on a Tacoma.
Yeah, it's a big deal. We're seeing this more and more. Raptor's done this. Tundra has obviously done this. And a lot of other off-road specific trucks have done that for travel and ride quality.
And Ram.
And Ram, thank you. Ram probably did it first. But to see this on a midsize, on a non-like Raptor, this is pretty cool. I'm really pumped on that. We'll see how that goes down in the future. Coming on the side, you do have your bump to open, just like Tundra.
Not just like Tundra because it's on both sides.
Oh, this one's on both sides?
Yes.
Okay, so they've learned as they've gone. And then it also will close itself as well.
Pretty cool.
That's pretty cool, and that thing feels industrial. The Ford version of that feels like it's gonna break. I have a little more faith in this one. Exhaust tip, big and chrome and ready to flop around when you're going over dirt, so that's cool. Let's bring this thing back down here, and here's your towing hitch right here. It's a 2-inch receiver with the standard chain hooks. Look how open these are and how easy they are to get your hook on.
You put hooks on there.
Right, a lot of these things are like high and tight, and it's a real pickle if you really tow with them, so good job. Right here you've got 7-way pin, good for brake controllers, 4-way flat, and the nondescript Toyota license plate for non-production vehicles. Also, right here, you know what that guy is? That's for your high lift jack point.
Yes.
That's how serious Toyota has been about off-road and knowing their market. They've really gotten it done. You got another one over here. It's pretty cool. Also, because the exhaust is on that side, you've got a kick-out step, just like the Tundra.
Because it's a really tall bed.
Well, look, there's a lot of different people in the world, Craig. I'm on one end of the scale and there's others on the other. So it is there, that's pretty cool. iForce Max on the back. That's enough for exterior. Let's check out under the hood.
All right, time to pop the hood, and it's just like all Toyotas, even though this is brand new. It's got the same door latch or hood latch as every Toyota since, I don't know, 30 years. But it works.
We've been waiting for this, guys. iForce Max, let's get to it. First time I've opened the hood on the Tacoma. There it is, guys. You can see it's iForce Max because the giant power unit right here. And this is the 2.4 turbo that we've seen on a lot of Toyota stuff lately. Grand Highlander, RX 350, so on and so forth. But this one makes more power.
Well, and this was mounted the right way.
It's mounted the correct way, exactly.
So there's no airflow thing.
Right, yeah, there's no turbo cooling because there's room, you can see air around the turbo on this side. Power-wise, 326 horsepower, 465 torque. I'm gonna get this prop rod real quick. Looks like you've got 2 prop rod locations too. I'm curious as to why.
Different heights.
Why you'd want it lower. There's more data on the power though, because it's a hybrid base. I want to talk about the electric portion of it. With the iForce Max, the electric motor that is sandwiched between the engine and transmission, 48 horsepower on its own, and 184 foot-pounds of torque on its own. So when you combine them, your net power at any given point, your peak is 465. This thing's gonna do some mean burnouts. Well, not this one because it's full-time all-wheel drive, but it's a lot of torque, it's a lot of towing, it's gonna be effortless for that kind of stuff. And that's where hybrid tech is really cool. Use it to be better at its job, not just the green part. And Toyota's taken that very seriously, and they've done that better than I think anybody right now. So let's give them a look around of what is really going on in here power-wise. Here's your ABS module, and look at all the circuits. You have multiple circuits because you have electric brake force distribution, that's what that is. This appears to be an ECU, or one of the ECUs, there's probably more than one down here. Steering linkage right there. And look at that frame rail, is beefy, fully boxed down here. You can see the welds on it. And that's really all there is. Your air intake comes in right here. Air comes in through the grill, right through that mesh and down to the airbox. Feeds right in, looks like an intercooler line down here, and then the turbo's right there. So pretty cool, that's awesome. Enough of that stuff, time for interior.
Let's check it out.
Oh yeah, one more thing, Craig, you just pointed this out. Where's the
yeah, this is gonna be a little quieter.
Yeah, no clutch fan, it's actually electric now, so interesting.
Time for the interior of the all-new Tacoma, and let's start with the back here. Yes, we'll open it first because my hands are full, and we'll get in the back. There's a step like Brian pointed out earlier, but I want to point out one thing back here, and that is this right here. Brian, I don't know if you can zoom in and see that. That says 2,400 watts because this is the Hybrid Max.
Crap.
Which means you can actually do things back here. We're on a coffee farm, you can brew some coffee. Thank you, Toyota, for doing that. So many people with hybrids, Tundra, have a Hybrid Max, and then you can't actually take advantage of it, so that's no fun. So, all right, getting in the back, Brian pointed out the steps earlier, but look, that's a convenient step. You get your lady friend or boyfriend or whatever wanting to get it back, convenient for them. Kids, And then, okay, I'm sitting behind myself, and you know, there's room. I will say I'm 5'9", and I'm hitting my head a little bit right here.
Okay,
but that's because of the motor of this sunroof. So we'll try another model that doesn't have a sunroof and see if that makes a difference. I imagine you'll gain a lot of headroom.
Fair.
Let's go back to the door though. We got hydro flask options down here. We've got cell phone options up here. And we don't have a center armrest, which is interesting because some midsize do have that. This one does not. Let me show the people this. Back here though, cool, what can really cool that continues is the 2400 watts continues back here, so you can plug something in while you're driving and charge something. Then USB-C, USB-C, and cup holders in the back. That's pretty cool. Not all mid-sizes have that. Don't have a map pocket on this side. You can only navigate from this side, so there is that. Before we move to the front, let's check under the seats, see what we got. This is a pre-production model, so who knows what we'll see. Oh, there's the battery. We can actually access it. This is what you won't normally see in a production model. This will be covered. So one thing to know, if you do get the Hybrid Max, you're gonna lose storage here. That's not gonna change, so something to keep in mind.
Also, I can see these clips right here. I imagine this won't be flipping up for a production model very easily.
Absolutely true. Also, one thing I forgot to point out, no rear AC, so something to keep in mind.
Smaller cabin might be okay.
Now this should fold back.
Oh, okay.
The cool news is, Brian, if you fold these forward and remove the armrest or the headrest, you can actually fold this flat. There's a JBL subwoofer right there, so it's going to bump, and then you can actually put some gear here and have plenty of room.
Power jack,
and you also have your little
power sliding rear window, which is probably the guillotine.
Moving into Command Central, let's see what we've got up here in the Tacoma Limited. Start with the door over there. We got some pretty cool, what looks like the little molly straps cutout things. Kind of cool. You can maybe hook some things there. Almost kind of got a dual level, some texture. Plenty of room for cubbies, and that's pretty cool. You do get the Highlander, first seen on the Highlander, the little dash cubby hole there, which is really nice. You can throw your cell phone in or Brian's wallet.
You can't see it from where you're at, Craig, but there's a USB plug right here behind.
Very good. Okay, so Toyota's really figuring that stuff out. Let's just start this thing up and see what happens, Brian. You're seeing this live with us. This is kind of our first time in it, so let's see what happens. Hit the start button somewhere right there. Oh, up here at the power button. The power button's up here, so let's do that. All right, and we get our nice 12.3-inch digital display, which comes in the Limited. Not all trims will have that. And then we also have a massive screen with a good Toyota user interface, which works great, which is quick. And even though this is a pre-pro, it works here. It's pretty fast. So steering wheel wise, look, it feels a lot like a Tundra. This looks like the Tundra steering wheel. You get plenty of massive big buttons that are easy to see, easy to read, and you get more stuff over here. You get your auto lights, traction control, power tailgate, and then you can also control your lights here, and you can turn your running boards off, because sometimes, like Brian pointed out, those running boards are low. You may not want them to deploy in certain situations. Trailer brake controller integrated, which is very nice. We also get a little holder here. That little holder there, Brian.
Hook or bag hook?
Well, so that's, you got your keys, and you just put them there.
Okay.
That's what that is.
There you go.
But you also get charging USB-C here. Tells you the exact wattage, which is really kind of interesting. And of course, a traditional outlet right there. Pretty cool.
For your smokers out there.
Limited models, we do get heated and ventilated seats, which is nice to get in a mid-size. Not a lot of mid-sizes have that. Moving on down, we get a traditional, T-handle shifter, because you're in charge and in control. You're a boss. Yes, Limited, you get 4 auto all the time. So it's 4 high, 4 low, and then, it's 4 auto, 4 high, and then 4 low is what that is. And then, of course, your different drive modes. Your different drive modes are somewhere in here. And we get Sport S Plus, Sport S, Normal, Comfort, and Eco. So
okay, no off-road.
No off-road mode. Custom, you can kind of play a few things with the suspension probably. And with that, Brian, we've got one more thing to show, and that is headroom. Because that's been a big deal with Tacomas. Brian, let's see. I want to check yours. This is more importantly than mine, because mine's fine. Let's see what we've got.
Well, with the moonroof, I'm touching.
Seats all the way down.
All the way down.
And your head is touching just a tad.
Yeah, actively.
With the moonroof.
I would say with the moonroof, this is right there with the old Tacoma, probably. Yeah. I never fit well in that, but I'm sure I could put the seat back and make it work. But I'm curious about a non-sunroof one. I think that's going to work out.
Yeah.
All right.
With that, so I will say, you do have a little bit less sitting on the floor feel to it.
Yes.
And I do have plenty of room, although I didn't really have a problem with room in the last one. And last but not least, Brian, look at this. Bluetooth speaker.
Take the jams with you.
You just take the jams with you. You don't have to stop. You just keep on rocking.
Love it.
Thanks for watching.